As we send members, kindly make sure after you log in, type your official name in the chat for registration, for the member registration who have already logged in the meeting. So kindly So member, I will ask a volunteer to raise up the hand to open the section with a word of prayer. So kindly, if you are willing, raise up the hand so that I can ask you to unmute and you open the section with a word of prayer. A volunteer. Yes. Inyaure. Kwina unziko kuira call over internet. Call over internet au njoko no merure weekend direction ya ndo tumenetere direct na password. Oh. Okay, sorry for that. Sorry for that. I can see Judy Ron, you have asked to lead us with a word of prayer. Yes, yes. Kindly and yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let us go as I pray. Almighty Heavenly Father, it's another fine morning, Father. We dedicate ourselves upon your hands. We welcome you, Father, into this meeting. As we commence today, let us commence together with you. Because we know without you, there is nothing we can do. Almighty Father, I call for your presence. I call for your guidance. I call for your concentration in this meeting. I call, Father, for your protection to each and everyone who is attending this particular meeting, this particular morning, Father. May you protect and guide each and everyone. Let everything that will be discussed in this meeting, Father, be of benefit to each and everyone attending the meeting. And guide us, Father, give us understanding, knowledge, and wisdom that comes from you. That whatever we say comes from you, not from our own words, Father. I pray that short prayer in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Kindly let members confirm if my voice is clear by typing CL on the chat so that okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. I would like this to take this opportunity once again to thank you for availing yourself so that we can attend that day training. I will not talk much because this is a day for counseling and the student welfare. So I will go direct to the facilitator, Lydia Mudoni. I have asked you to unmute so that you can take over the section kindly. Lydia Mudoni. Lydia Mudoni, if you can hear me kindly. And remember, make sure you type your official name so that we can do registration. Make sure you type your official name in the chat. Daniel Modoni, we are waiting for you. I have asked you to unmute. Okay, I can see. Make sure you type your official name for the registration. Kindly members, that is a requirement. Yeah, the section 8 is live on YouTube. Still, members, you can follow. Okay, thank you, members. I can see our facilitator, Madam Lindia, she's around. So, uh, members, kindly be ready for the section. She's from the counseling department. So, if you have any question now, be ready to ask about the behavior, the way of life. I think it will be a very interactive section. So, Lindia, welcome so much. Uh, welcome. Lindy, if you can hear me, I can see you have a capability to speak, so kindly it's a section. Comrades, make sure you type your official name in the chat for the registration. I can recognize the presence of the Dean of Students, Dr. Chandrak Monanu. Uh, I think you'll be taking over the section as he welcomed the counseling department. So I will take this chance to ask Dr. Chandrak Monanu to take over the section. Yes, welcome, Doctor.
Thank you, Fred. You can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for this morning. First of all, let me know whether Lydia is around. Lydia. And there is also Ellen, Madam Ellen Ngunyi. Kindly, Freddy.
Yes.
Check somebody by the name from Chuka main campus, Ellen Ngunyi, so that you can unmute her.
Yes, Ellen.
Ellen Ngunyi.
I can see Ellen Wangui.
Wangui.
Yes.
I don't know whether that's a real name. Maybe there is Ellen Ngunyi, or Ellen Wangui is a student. She's
Maybe she can write the name in the chat so that we can
yeah.
identify her.
Yes. So at this point, let me take this time to welcome our students to the third day of our interaction and are getting to understand a number of things relating to our lives. So today, as Fred said, it's our counseling a day. I can see we are 64, all of us. So my students, good morning. I hope you can hear me wherever you are. We thank God for this morning. It's on a Friday. And I know it has been a hectic moment for all of us, those have been attending. I don't know whether we can interact and maybe get to know what you have learned since Wednesday in the issues relating to your registration, interfaculty transfers, and a number of other things that you ought to have known so that you can move forward in the right way. So we thank God for this morning. And we are going to discuss some issues in our lives. We'll talk about time management. We'll talk about mental health. I know you have some written write-ups. You have some write-ups, issues to do with mental health and awareness, all the online social interactions, cyber bullying, stress management. I can see Lydia. Lydia, can you hear me? So maybe Frederick, kindly can you unmute Lydia so that some of us will be unmuted, and then we interact well.
Yes, I have asked her to unmute.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
also, Ellen Guni, if you are with us, kindly also, maybe you can type from the chat, public chat, that you are together with us. Ellen Guni from Chuka. Yes. So I can start sharing on something on time management. Time management. Our students, there are things that you were taught. The last week, we had a topic on life in campus. There was a topic on drug and substance abuse. There was a topic on mental health issues. There was a topic on financial management. And today, briefly, so Lydia Karibu, you maybe you can greet us and then I continue. Lydia, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
I have asked her to unmute so that she can talk.
And Ellen?
Can hear you?
You can hear me?
Yes. Hello, my name is Lydia Mudhoni. I'm the student's counselor. It's a pleasure meeting you online, but I'm looking forward to meeting all of you in person very soon. Thank you, Dr. Am I supposed to give my presentation now or maybe after?
Just relax a little bit after I have given mine on time management.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can see yourself, you have just been setting yourself right away.
Yes.
Still, we'll have time, and we just want to thank God for our students. We can say something about time management. After that, you will come in.
All right, thank you.
Yes. So kindly, students, are you just be ready to ask us any question relating to some of these topics that we'll be sharing on the psychosocial support. And we are saying today is the day of the student welfare department. We have the counseling department. We deal with issues, matters relating to students. So today we want to say something briefly about time management. Time management. And there is a scripture that I will read, maybe for those who ascribe to Christianity. There is a scripture from Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 11. Maybe we can, let me read that scripture. Ecclesiastes is after Proverbs chapter number 9, verse 11. This is what the Bible says. I have seen something else under the sun. The race is not to the swift, or the battle to the strong, nor does food come to the wise, or wealth to the brilliant, or favor to the learned, but time and chance happen to them all. Time and chance happen to them all. It is good for us to note that we have 24 hours that God has given us, equal time. So there is no one who can claim to be rich or poor in terms of time, because God has given us that one equally. But the difference that comes to us, the way you see people differently, it is how they use time, how they appropriate time. We are talking about time management. So time and a chance has been given to us all. You are coming to study in an institution of higher learning. I know you have been in high school, and you can be sure. Of course, I know maybe you have heard about time management. This is not the first time for you to have heard about time management, but we want to refresh ourselves and also to reinforce what you could be already knowing about time management. And when you talk about time management, it is a process. It is a process of organizing and planning how you divide your time, how you divide the 24 hours between specific activities, between specific tasks that you have. And when you talk about good time management, it will enable you to do more in very less time. You realize that when you come to the university, this is an institution where you have all the freedom. Of course, in high school, you had a timetable where time was planned for you. Actually, from morning, maybe some of you waking up, those in boarding schools, waking up at 4 a.m. and up to the sleep time. So your time was managed. Though, of course, you also had a moment, a bigger share of also how to manage time, how even to read. You had a timetable. But now here you are coming to the university where nobody will tell you even to go to the lecture. Nobody will tell you to attend the class. Nobody will tell you the time to wake up, when to sleep. But for you to have a distinction, for you to have a difference, and not just in the life of a student alone, even when you leave the university and your future, time management is very critical for all of us, me included. So good time management will enable you to do more in less time. And you work smarter. You work smart. You do not work hard. When you have good time management, you become smart in how you handle your issues. And if you see yourself just having activities and you have poor time management, actually it will kill your effectiveness, and this one will lead to stress. Like if maybe you attending a meeting like this one, the Zoom meeting, it is 9, and maybe you are coming maybe at 9:10 when others have started, you are stressed. You are stressed. You are stressed. Or going for the lecture. You know the lecture starts at 8 a.m. I have seen students the way they come and with the chairs when the lecture has already started and they are panting, they are sweating, and the lecture has just started. You will be stressed. Some points, of course, will bypass you, and it may even take more time for you to settle. So each of us, as I have said, we have 24 hours in a day. But you will realize that there are those who will achieve more than others because of how they appropriate this time. So good time management requires us to have a shift from the focus of the activities. You focus on the end, the goal, such that when you wake up in the morning, you ask yourself, at the end of this day, what do I want to achieve? so that you can have an evaluation, so that you can evaluate, so that even before you sleep, what have I done over the day? Are these the activities that I construed to do? Are they the ones that I have achieved? What are the results? And from there, you can be able to evaluate. So we are saying that good time management requires an important shift from activities to results. That's why even at this moment, for the 3 days, it is important for you to ask yourself, what have you achieved? You have been sitting down, maybe having your laptop, having your phone from 9 a.m. to either 2 p.m. And what have you achieved? What have you achieved? So you may be busy. There are people, when we are studying, I realized that there was a student who was very busy. Actually, that student would wake up very early in the morning when we were in high school. You'd be the first to be in class. But I don't know what happened. He was working very hard. You could see, people could see. But at the end of Form 4, he never performed very well. And we were wondering what really happened. And the student seemed to be using his time. Maybe he could have been very busy, but not focusing on the results. So even as you settle down, maybe you go to the library to read, just ask yourself, after the 2 hours, what is the result of that use of time? So good time management allows a student to become more organized, This is very critical. So kindly, if there is anyone at your level who maybe has not considered time management and how you need to plan your time, and you sit down, you have a record of activities, it is the high time you start thinking about that, so that at the end of the 4-year course, of the 5-year course, or whatever time, you can look back and say, I have achieved what I wanted to achieve. So you become more organized, you also become more confident, and you learn more effectively. The other important thing, actually, the problem of time management, there is the one that we generally use, procrastination. I believe maybe you have heard of that term, procrastination. And I've seen students whereby you want to postpone doing things. Maybe the lecturer gives you an assignment. That assignment is for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And you think that the 3 weeks is so far. It's so long. And then time just passes by. The impact of the passing time catches up with you unawares. You do not know. Nile siku tu utasikia the lecturer said that now the assignment to be given tomorrow. And you know, a number of students will go just running up and down, even getting the assignments of others to copy. You don't even understand, or even going to do things that are funny. And you see yourself, you are giving a very shondy assignment. This is what I've seen in class when I've been having teaching students. By the way, I teach psychology, educational psychology, educational students. So I am in the Department of Education. So I understand about all this, about human behavior. So procrastination. So when you have been given an assignment, not alone assignment, it is important for you. Actually, when I was looking at it, if you have been given an assignment, I would advise you do it the very first thing. Let that assignment even wait for the days, but it's not working the last minute. Because I've been in high school, you see even students now revising for the CAT, for the exam, and they want to tell the lecturer, kindly can you even extend? Because they are not prepared. They thought that they have a lot of time and they were procrastinating. So procrastination, we say, is an enemy of success. Hello, I hope you can hear me. Hello, can you hear me? Those who are there and I can see them, you can wave. Eh?
Yes.
Yes, you can hear me. Redick,
Yes.
you can hear me. Yes.
Yes.
So we are saying that a procrastination is enemy of success. You'll get stressed up. Later we'll be speaking about stress management. And one of the ways of actually coping with the stress is having good, proper time management. And you'll have very good grades. Let me tell you, we are in a world of competition. Students, I have been in panels where we have been doing interviews, especially in high school, maybe for those who are doing education, and we have looked at the performance of students having the same course. There are those, of course, who will come with the transcripts with the C's, others with the A's. Sincerely speaking, even if you are all qualified, you'll get the one who has the best in grade, who has performed well. So do you want to perform very well? Just be a very good time manager. Be a very good time manager, such that you can get the best because you have earned the goals set properly. We have a personality type known as choleric, and these are people who are task-oriented. Task-oriented. They plan things and they don't want to have distractors, such that if you're planned to do your study to go to the library, and maybe a student just comes and tells you, we want to go to the market, you say no, because you are task-oriented. You want to go to the library and do the assignment that maybe the lecturer gave you. So students, of course, in the university, there are so many activities with so many units to cover. You have lectures to attend. You have a number of assignments. There are those, of course, who will be doing even a practicals. There will be co-curricular activities. There will be so many things to be done. And for you to do well, you need to sit down and make a thorough check, a thorough plan of what you are supposed to do, so that you can avoid, or so that you can reduce. Let me say not to avoid, because also stress, some element of stress is part of our life. Actually, you cannot, you have some level of stress. Of course, if it goes beyond that, it's known as distress. So the first thing that you need to do is that you need to have a master send you. A master send you. Master life. You have a timetable from morning to evening. Unajua unaweza kuta mtu akifanya hivyo unaona kama huyu, it's good, just have a send you, a master plan, a send you for your activities every day from morning, the time you wake up. So I don't know whether, because now you have come to the university, what would be your waking time? Because I have seen, you see, myself, I'm also a parent, and there are those, of course, I know, maybe even where you have been at home, like in the COVID time, there are those who have been waking up even at 9 a.m. I don't know, or even 10 a.m. But as a student with an agenda, there is a course that I was going through, and one of the principles was that somebody who wakes up after 7 a.m., we were saying that your life is out of order. If you sleep beyond 7, unless if you are sick, your life is out of order. But look at people who have actually succeeded. Well, if you share their history, if they sit down and speak to you, they will say that they are early risers with a number of activities in the morning, maybe 5. Maybe 5 a.m. and you plan your day. And there are those, of course, who sleep and they sleep very late and they wake up with hangovers. And you'll have the day just disoriented. Just the day disoriented. Have an agenda. When you set your timetable, use an agenda. Look ahead of the upcoming events that you have, the assignments, record them. Give the dates so that some things do not even, they don't slip away from you. There are those people who also have the diaries. That's very important. So schedule time for every activity. Have time for leisure, have time for sports. Of course, I know that like in a university, basically maybe on average, you'll have around 7 units to cover. And every unit is basically around 3-4 hours. So 28 hours in a week for 5 days. And then there is the other time. So when you have set your timetable, your master plan, it is important to be careful about the distractors. There are things that can come in between you that can make you shift, because time management will require also somebody with self-discipline. 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 Some distractors like you, young people, for example, the cell phone. The cell phone. Maybe you have gone to study and now you start even chatting with your friends, whatever they have in the whatever. Your friends that maybe you are in high school together with. And you take 30 minutes just chatting and you never planned for that. But it has come in between the moment of study. But of course, if you had just said that I want to relax for 10 minutes, this time I'll use for social social issues, that's okay if you planned it that way. But if it was not part of the plan, some of us will go even to very captivating sites and you are just carried off and you forget everything. And by the end of it, you see yourself just getting confused. And the things that you're supposed to have done, you do not do them. You do not do them. So I'm saying that it's important for you to avoid distractors, which can be the cell phone, the social media, friends. A friend just comes in your room, start giving you maybe stories of the girlfriend, the boyfriend. You take a whole 1 hour and you had planned your time to do something. But of course, if you have set time for socializing, that's okay. Maybe after studies, that's okay. But I'm saying that you need to be very careful because you think you have all the time to avoid distractors. I don't know, of course, you know even the rules because I believe you have been taught about issues to do with exams, that you can fail an exam, you repeat, and if you fail again, you can easily be discontinued. But for somebody to be discontinued in a university and you came the right way, you are a performer, maybe it could have been your issue of how you used your time. So it is important for you also to set goals for each study session, each day. Set goals. And I know for students, actually it would be very good, as I said, you look at the results. At the end of the day, what have you achieved even for the classwork? So do your assignments early. I have said don't wait for the last minute rush. Don't panic. Don't wait for those panic moments. And I have seen a number of students doing like that. Even coming for the cards when it is 10 minutes late because they were just flipping over what the teacher or the lecturer taught. So they came late. And you see, even when the time for the card is there, you want to be given few minutes before you start. And then you have the books there. But of course, the books will be kept far away. And these are the same students who will see that they won't even to cheat in the exams. But if you are confident, you had proper time management, you did your assignments early, you did your revision early, revision for the exam, you went to the library frequently. So kindly, I will urge you, set time for you. You are moving to the library. The library should be your closest friend. Because why are you in the university anyway? Your core business is education. I mean, it is learning, it is study. I have seen some students who just go to the library when it is time for the exams. Let this one not be your habit. You go to the library, you see it is full packed. 1 week or 2 weeks before the exam. But before that, the library is just empty, even in the evening. So do research and focus on the task at a time. If it is reading, read. Don't just confuse yourself with so many activities within the same time. So it is important to do one thing at a time, complete it, do it at a time. Don't split your attention between activities. And you also need kindly to provide time for rest, have good rest, sleep, because your health is very important. You need to have a very sound mind. Sleep well, about 7 hours in a night. Sleep well, sleep well. So don't msiende kubonga stories huko kwa hostel mpaka saa 6 inafika na asubuhi kuna cut, or even there is a class at 7, because you may have a crash program, Give yourself time for rest. Give yourself time to relax. Identify the activities that you can do. Also, when you are doing your studies, have time to relax. Have 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You can move out. You can maybe even chat. You can whatever activity that you feel is going to give you relaxation. So relaxation techniques are very important. I have said be an analyzer, so get enough sleep. So I don't want to say so many things as far as the time management is concerned, but you realize that if you are not careful, you may see yourself completing the semester, 11 weeks, 12 weeks are over, and the exams have been announced, and that's the moment you are full of stress because you have not even been revising. Make a review of the work that has been given by your lecturers every time. Have continuous review so that even when you come out, you are not just about just passing exams. No, but there is something that you have taken. The things are internalized in you that you have knowledge that you can pass to other people. So time management is important. So I have said that, like the way I started with that scripture, time and a chance happen to them all. So the race is not for the swift. It is not for the strong. But the difference will come in on how you manage time. And I believe you, our students, you'll be good time managers so that there will be no problem. So that even in my office, I don't want to have students now who have kama sasa unaenda usiku, unakunywa pombe, unakuja saa sita, and then there at night, you are in the hands of the police. Tunapigiwa simu. Also, and so your student was, there was some police in patrol around the Gatonga. Just like it happened another time we were called like that. A young boy and a young girl. And the parents at home know that these students are busy, they are studying, but they are somewhere. Misusing time. Misusing time. So can we take our assignment seriously, what has brought us to the university, and plan our time very well to socialize, for sports, for movements? The university has provided enough activities to make you grow holistically in terms of your social life, in terms of your professional life. We have professional clubs, we have movements, the Christian Union, the YCS, the SDA, the Muslim. We have the debating club, we have the drama club, we have the sports. So just identify and plan very well how you can use time and avoid procrastination. I know you have a sound mind and you are well equipped to make proper judgment, proper time management, and you can be sure at the end of the day, you'll achieve success. So let me leave it at that point. We can say so many things as far as time management is concerned so that we can go to other areas. Thank you. Thank you very much. So I don't know at this point if there is maybe a student before Lydia prepares herself. If there is a question on time management, maybe I can respond. Any query?
Kindly, if you have any question, kindly raise up the hand so that I can unmute you. And also you can type it in the chat.
Or Frederick, maybe they can keep the questions up to some day, up to some time, eh?
Yes, yes.
Or unless if somebody has a burning question, maybe the question can also tarry a bit.
Okay, okay.
Or is there anybody who has raised his hand or her hand?
Yes, we have Jude.
Yes.
I can ask him to unmute.
Yeah.
Yes, Jude. Okay. It seems that he is not ready. I think
Okay.
Dr. Shadrach Munani, you can continue.
Okay.
Yes.
Lydia. I hope Lydia can get me. Lydia?
Lindy, I've asked you to unmute kindly. Lindy, if you can hear me. unmute so that you take over the section.
Lydia?
Linda, kindly unmute.
Hello?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, finally, thank you. So I'm here today to talk to you about stress management. And I'll first start by defining what is stress. So stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. Stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. It can come from any event or thought that makes you feel frustrated, angry, or nervous. So we also have positive stress, and positive stress, we do call it eustress. So eustress is a positive type of stress that has a beneficial effect on your health, motivation, performance, and emotional well-being. So those are the only two terms that I'm going to define for now. And now let's talk about two main types of stress. We do have acute stress and chronic stress. Acute stress, all of us, we do experience this. All of us are vulnerable to acute stress. And this is a short-term stress that usually goes away very, very quickly. Yeah, and mostly it can help us manage dangerous situation. And it also usually occurs when you're doing something new or exciting. The other main type of stress is chronic stress. Chronic stress is a type of stress that lasts for a longer period of time. Yeah, most of us, it can be happening every day and you're not aware about it because it lasts for, you can take it as something normal, but this is something not normal unless someone brings it to your attention. So we call it chronic stress. And examples of chronic stress is where maybe you're having money problems for a long period of time. And this doesn't apply to you, but maybe for those who are married, you can be in unhappy marriage, that is chronic, or maybe you're having trouble at work. Those are just a few examples that I have for you right now. So let's talk about signs of stress. How do you know you're stressed? So some signs of stress are diarrhea. You can have a diarrhea or constipation. There is forgetfulness. There is frequent aches and pains, headaches. There is loss of energy. You can also have a stiff neck or a stiff jaw. There is also tiredness. You can have trouble sleeping. You can also be sleeping too, or the opposite, sleeping too much. Some might even indulge into alcohol to try and relax, and some can also gain weight or lose weight. So those ones might mostly apply in acute stress. So when you have chronic stress, this is where you might, for chronic stress, you might have high blood pressure, as much as, high blood pressure, you can have heart diseases, you can have diabetes, you can suffer from obesity, you can have depression, anxiety, you can also have skin problems such as acne. Yes, those are few, there are many more, but for now those are the ones that we can discuss in this session. So let's talk about, our focus is on new students, first years. So let's focus on what might cause your stress, common stresses among students, especially new students. And assignments, assignments are going, maybe when you have many assignments, and mostly like Dr. Munanu talked about procrastination. You have so many assignments, but you find yourself doing them last minute. This is going to make you suffer from stress. Then we also have another cause of stress can be extracurricular activities. Yeah, maybe you can choose 1 or 2 clubs that you can manage. Don't be in too many clubs. Yeah, or maybe you can be in a dilemma. Which club do I join? Where do you think your talent is? These also can be a cause of stress. Then we also have social challenges. We also have transitions. Yeah, like most of you, all of you actually are transitioning from being in high school to college to a university. That's a major big transition in your life. Yeah, and I'm sure you're experiencing stress, anxiety, and this is very normal. Yeah, and then relationships. You might suffer from stress out of your relationships, might be from your roommate, or from opposite sex relationships, maybe your lecturers, etc., etc. Yeah. So those are common causes of stress among you students. So how do you handle stress? Yeah, you need to realize or recognize when you're stressed. And when you realize you're stressed, how do you handle the stress that you're going through? You seek for help. And one of the ways of handling stress is getting organized. Number 1, get organized. Yeah, avoid clutter. Clutter can cause stress. It can decrease productivity. It can even cost you money. Yeah, so where you're staying, in your hostels, yeah, if you're residing in the school non-residential or a residential student, avoid clutter. Yeah, these it can even have negative effects on your grades. Yeah, so have a soothing study area that's free of distractions. Yeah, this will, if you avoid clutter, this will lower your stress levels. It will save time. You will also find your lost items. You will also have a good relationship with your roommates because you're organized. Yeah. And it will also bring a positive feeling. You'll feel nice staying in a clean area. And it will also bring a positive feeling about you. Yeah, it will bring a positive feeling about your study area. Then number 2, after being organized, you need to eat healthy. Have a healthy diet. Yeah, most of you are staying with your parents. They were deciding what you're going to eat, but now you're on your own. Yeah, avoid eating junk food. Avoid grabbing chips, high energy drinks, and all that. So always have fresh fruits in your rooms. Have fresh fruits, have fresh vegetables. Always eat a balanced diet. Yeah, a healthy diet can help you manage stress. Yeah, it's a technique that will also help you study harder. Then another way of managing stress is you practice visualization. Yeah. For example, when you're having a presentation, yeah, you can go in your room, sit somewhere free from distraction, music, and all that. Visualize yourself making that presentation. You can even look at the mirror and present, yeah, when you are alone. That will make you even perform better. It's vivid, yeah.
you practice vividly, seeing yourself practicing, yeah, in the next class or during your presentation. The next way of managing stress, number 4, is exercise. Yeah, you need to exercise regularly. Yeah, this is taking, you can take a 10 minutes walk. You remember in high school, like how you had a PE classes? So like Dr. Shadrach talked about managing your time in your timetable, small timetable, have time where you're going, you can have, you can be taking walks, even in the evening, or maybe in the morning, or maybe between your classes. You can also have dancing classes. Why not? Salsa classes. You can start those classes, yeah, or clubs, where you can be doing it even on Saturdays, yeah. Martial arts, even for ladies, you can start martial arts. You can be doing yoga, you can meditate, you know, yes. And you can avoid many diseases if you make it a regime to exercise regularly. Then another way of managing stress is take calming breaths, you know, breathing in, out. Yeah, remember in high school, I'm so sure most of your teachers were telling you to breathe in, out. So taking calming breaths is another way of managing stress. Before any presentation, yeah, when you're feeling overwhelmed, you can breathe in, breathe out, and it will give you a relaxing, you'll have that, you'll feel more relaxed. Then another way is finding support, yeah. This is where you have a strong support system, both at school and at home. Yeah, make a phone call to your mom, talk to your mom, talk to your sister, brother, you know, stay connected with people at home. Yeah, email them, talk to them via the phone. You can do video teleconferencing. Yeah, I'm encouraging you to always stay in touch with your family members back at home, you know, yes. Then another way of managing stress is listening to music. You know, research has found that music has some cognitive benefits in managing stress. It can help you calm down. You can have slow melodies, not that loud music, but you can have slow melodies in your phone music. Then we also have positive thinking and affirmation. Yeah, our principal, Professor Muriongi, is the one who he keeps on talking about positive thinking. So students, be an optimist, not a pessimist. Be a person who is always looking on the positive side. Yeah, don't always think about negative outcome. Be a positive thinker, and this can bring better health, better relationships, and better grades. Train your mind. Learn how to train your brain for having self-positive talks. Then finally, we do have other ways like journaling. Dr. Shadrach talked about it. You can journal your events, your day. You can sit down and write how your day was. And trust me, writing anything that's coming in your mind, your experiences, yeah, is therapeutic. You're letting out those negative energy come out. Then finally, we do have students services. So we do have a counseling center at school where I'm in charge of counseling in case you have something that's depressing you. And students, we all need help. from one time to another. We all do experience challenges, depression sometimes, or even anxiety. Sometimes you're not even able to get sleep. You're not able to enjoy life as a student. You might find yourself turning to alcohol, yeah, to try and cope with stress. Now, this is the time that you should ask for help. Don't feel embarrassed. Yeah, there is confidentiality. Yeah, no one is going to talk about your issues, the issues that you're going through. Yeah, so when you feel really overwhelmed, you cannot handle whatever you're going through, feel free to come to the university counseling service office. Feel free to talk to the Dean of Students, Dr. Shadrach. We also have nurses at school. You can also talk to them. We are all trained to keep your matters private. Unless something is going to harm your health, or maybe you're in danger, this is when we are going to break confidentiality, and we are going to do it in a safe way. Yes, so I'm done with my presentation. Dr. Shadrach, can I hand it over to you?
Yes, Lydia.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that wonderful presentation.
Yes.
I believe our students have benefited from that. Yeah, and you are there. So when they come, they will meet us. We'll continue interacting in a deeper way for them to really get a number of things. But it has been good. Thank you very much, Lydia. Yes, Lydia is
Thank you
our.
so much for listening.
Yes. It was very clear. It was very clear.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Maybe at this point we may not continue seriously with the other topic, but we can respond to one or two questions that are in the chat. So kindly, if you have a question, we can respond to those two topics on time management and stress management. So kindly, you can be active in the chat. I have seen a number of students asking a few questions. So can we have questions kindly from the chat? Can we have? Like somebody, sometimes we have goodwill to manage time, but after some time, we have started dishonoring time. How can we do about it? That is one. There is another one which was related to this. Somebody saying that we tend to manage time, but after a while, you become biased. How can I keep in tow to manage time now and then? Those are some two questions on time management, but it's the same query that you have the will to manage time, and maybe you have a timetable, you have a journal, you have created your time with activities, but as you move on, you see yourself, you are slipping away from what you intended to do. So how can you go about that? Well, at times, you see, we are human beings. You may not be 100%. You may not do things 100%. By the way, there is even room, even in research, we say that there is a margin error. There is margin error, but we have what we call levels of confidence, maybe 95% levels of confidence. One, if you realize that you have slipped away from your intention, don't just get discouraged, don't get frustrated. But it is important when you have set your time, it is good you do what we call monitoring and evaluation. At some point, you pause and ask yourself, Am I doing the right thing? Am I on track? If you ask yourself if you're on track, you would be able to identify maybe some of the things that could have made you drift. For example, it could be like, I know in high school, maybe you unset yourself to study mathematics. And there is a subject maybe that you love so much. You love maybe English or history. So you see yourself that time for mathematics, you are not doing it for mathematics, you are doing it for history. So you realize that, but you unset it for mathematics. So it is good if you unset your time to go to the library and you see yourself, you have gone for social interactions. Maybe you have gone visiting some ladies within the hostels or even outside campus. And with the time you see yourself what you had set, you have stopped using it. So it is important at a shorter period of time, make an evaluation, make some monitoring, and bring yourself on course. So that you cannot just set your timetable and just say that you continue using it that way. Maybe at the end of the week, can you evaluate what you have done over the week in terms of time management, whether the way you scheduled your activities, you can even rate yourself. If you, of course, you are saying that 90% have done it very well, that's quite okay. 95%. So look at the distractors, because the moment you know what is the gap, you'll be able to work on that. So I believe that's the way I can say about that. It is important when you set your time, have monitoring and evaluation techniques. See whether you are on track, identify what are the gray areas that you can work on so that you are on course. And don't get frustrated. At times you may set things can happen. If you realize that you have not used time the way you wanted to use it properly because of something else that was unforeseen and it was important for you to do it, then you can make up for that. Imagine maybe you are supposed to attend a burial. There is no one who plans for, maybe there is something has happened, a friend has lost a loved one, and you have to show solidarity with maybe your fellow comrade. And there were some things that you're supposed to do over that weekend, but you see yourself traveling. So you just try to make up for that because you are flexible. You are flexible. Just look at it and see how you are faring, because it may not be 100%. Don't be discouraged, but move on. At least see that you are doing very well. Have what you call self-discipline. Self-discipline is important. That's the way I can answer that. There is somebody who asked a question. Do Muslims have a mosque to pray? Of course, the university has not constructed sanctuaries. They have not constructed even a church for a hall for the SDA, for the YCS, for the CU. They have not constructed. So these are groups, they use the lecture halls to meet for the activities. What we have done also for the Muslim, there is a room, there is a makeshift place where they can be, where they meet and conduct their religious activities. So we have provided a room, a temporary room, of course, as we develop, but they have a place where they can meet for their religious function. But the university has not constructed a mosque for that. And not a mosque, they have also not constructed churches for the Protestants or any other religious group. Yes, so kindly, maybe we can continue from there. Let me invite Ellen Wangoi. Ellen Wangoi, I believe you can hear me. Ellen Wangoi is a student counselor from Chuka main campus.
Yes, I have asked her to unmute.
Yes, kindly. Ellen Wangoi will be...
Hello, Dr. Shadrach.
Yes.
I can see a few questions. Can I respond to one or two, please?
Kindly, you can.
Yeah, someone is asking if water can help someone relieve stress. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. Yeah, I can see what someone is asking if someone can, if water can help someone relieve stress, and that's a yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you should always stay dehydration. So not, you should make sure you're not dehydrated, because dehydration can lead to higher stress hormone levels.
Yes.
So always stay hydrated. And when you're hydrated, you will be better equipped to deal with everyday problems or issues that you're going to face. Then I can see three people are asking about how to manage sleep. How do you sleep well? One way of making sure you sleep well is wake up at the same time every day. You can try to eliminate alcohol and stimulants like coffee. Most people take coffee before bed. If it's coffee, I think you can take, is it Daktari, 3 to 4 hours before bedtime? But anyway, limit taking alcohol and stimulants before you sleep. Also, you can limit naps. If you're taking like 3 or 4 naps during the day, be assured you will not sleep well at night. Then also you can exercise regularly. We talked about exercise. Make sure you exercise.
Yes.
Limit many activities in bed. For example, your phone, put your phone away. And in that way, you're going to sleep better. You can also, don't take a lot of water. That means you won't wake up many times to go pee. Yep. Not unless, Doctor, you have some more points on how we can manage sleep.
That do not take a lot of water when you are going to sleep.
Yes,
But
yes.
taking water is important. Waking up in the morning, taking water. Actually, you need to take a lot of water. It will be very good for your digestion.
Yeah.
As she's saying, you will not be dehydrated. So water is important. It's important. Like me, when I wake up in the morning, I take a glass of warm water.
Yeah.
So it is important. Yes, that is good. And exercising, as you have said.
Yeah, exercise. You can also make your sleeping environment comfortable. Avoid clutter, like we said. Make sure your beddings are clean.
Yes.
Your mattress should be comfortable. Yeah. Yes.
Good. Yeah.
Thank you. I think
And
now,
of course,
Dr.
with the proper social interaction, so that you do not have things that are disturbing you, because you can also miss sleep because of worry. If you engage yourself in activities like relationships that are not healthy, maybe you are fearing. Of course, like in the Facebook, someone will be talking about healthy online. Ellen will be talking about healthy online interaction. So if you are having an healthy online interaction, these are things that can affect your sleep. These are things that, if not even online alone, even the social interactions, how you handle yourself with the people of the opposite sex. So these things can really interrupt your sleep patterns. Lydia, that's okay?
Yes, that's okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So Ellen Wangoi?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, good. Thank you. I can see you have shared something.
Yes.
Yeah. So kindly, Ellen, as I've said, Ellen is a student counselor, Chuka main campus. You can take over, madam.
Thank you and good morning to everybody. I have been here with you listening and I have really enjoyed. You know, I feel like I'm a student as well. I feel like I'm saying, oh my goodness, I should listen to this more often. So Tharaka University College students, you're very, very lucky, because these truths you're being told today, they are timeless. Timeless meaning, even for me who is finished school many years ago, I'm still thinking, time management. I need to manage my time. Have I been sleeping beyond 7 a.m.? Am I being productive? About my stress? How am I managing my stress? And I am loving the engagement. I saw you are 119 people. I said, oh my goodness, this is a whole huge classroom online. And so fantastic work. Thank you, Dr. Shadrach Munan, for inviting me. And thank you for what you've been sharing with students. Thank you, Lydia, as well. Happy to see you and happy to meet with you. And thank you everybody for being here. It's wonderful when you're able to humble and be able to learn. So my name is Helen Wangui and I work in Chuka University as a student counselor. And I'm here for us to be able to discuss and learn more about emotional wellness, mental health, mental wellness, stress, and how we can onlinely interact in a healthy way. So I will be able to present, but I won't stick to every word there. I'll be able to just mention some tips and there is just a guideline. And again, feel free to have your questions. And I love the questions. I saw someone asking about sports and games and gym, and I said, "Oh wow, these people are eager to really engage in the university setting." So the thing about university, there are so many things that are there. So once you get there, the day you'll be told you can go, you will the things you're asking, you'll now be able to see them physically. I know sports is a major activity in school, and you can be able to have a fantastic time engaging in sports. And there are those things about university which people don't know. So tell your dean and Madam Lydia to tell you about there are those hidden secrets about university life. Like you can be able to compete competitively even to international levels through sports, and the university allows you to do that, and they facilitate that. The same thing for the clubs and activities. We don't have a curriculum for reading, for curriculum activities, a program, a timetable for that. Is someone asking, is there a timetable for curricular activities? So there's no timetable for that. It's up to you to manage your own time with regard to, and there are very many. There are so many things you can do beyond the learning, and you'll be able to learn more on that. So mine today is on your mental wellness and emotional wellness. And when you ask what is mental health, I know you had a bit of this some time back. Mental health is a state of well-being in which every individual, now this in this case, meaning here every student, realizes his or her own potential, and you can be able to cope with the normal stresses of life. You can work productively and fruitfully, and you're able to make a contribution to your community. Okay, so the question we're asking ourselves here is, are you able to realize your own potential? You're a student in Tharaka. You're now pursuing your academic studies in university level. Are you able to maximize and to realize that potential? Number two, can you be able to cope with the stresses that come along life during that period? So when you're in university, it won't be the same as high school. One, your time, as which is a critical topic, is more up to you to manage. When you were in high school, time was managed for you, but the timetable you had, things were a bit more structured. Now you are required to manage your time. Can you be able to cope with all this time you have been given, all this freedom you have been given, and be able to manage it very well? So can you be able to cope with that? Can you be able to work productively and fruitfully? In this case for you, working in this case means you are a student in university. Are you able to study and be productive in that area? As your dean said, by the time you have come to university, it means you have met the criteria, you have passed. There are many who haven't gotten there, but you have managed to get there. So it means you already have the potential with you to be in university level. Now, when you start failing and having issues here and there, when you start missing classes, those things which are a bit not welcome, we are asking what is happening. How are you not able to cope? Why aren't you being productive? And then being fruitful. Fruitful means the results of your work. You're here to study. So the fruits for you will be your studies. What are your grades? By the time you're done with your 4 years or 6 years, if you do masters or PhD, what is the result of that? And the last one, you are able to make a contribution to your community. Your community could be your classroom. Your community could be now you're at home. Are you able to contribute at home? Your community could be your church. Community could be the clubs you will join. Are you able to contribute to your community? Okay, that's the first point. Number two, that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. This means that you can be not sick in terms of your body is okay when we see you are smiling, but because you're mentally not okay, you are not healthy. We won't say you are healthy because of that. What is mental health again? Maintaining successful mental activity. It's someone mentioned to you, please don't do the don't yes, thank you, don't do that. I don't know who is doing that. Don't do that. Maintaining successful mental activity, meaning your thoughts. How are your thoughts? You did mention about having positive thoughts, or it's Lydia. And what about how your professor mentions positive thinking? So are you able to maintain positive or successful mental thinking? Are you thinking, I'm going to finish my degree within the required amount of time? I'm going to get straight A's in all my studies. I'm going to be there for all my lectures. I'm going to participate in entirety in the university experience. I'm going to be a great man or woman in this society. Are you able to maintain successful mental activity? Number two, maintaining productive activities daily. So you don't wait till weekend. Every day, from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there's something productive you're doing, and then you are fulfilling with you and those ones who are around you. Even now, when you're at home, how are you living with those who are around you? Number three, are you able to adapt to change and cope with stress? That one has been mentioned by Lydia already. And also, this is another way of looking at it. How are you able to interact with people in society? Mental health is an important thing because it plays a critical role in your life. Because if you're not able to maintain a mentally stable place, you can't be able to do things in the right place and the right time. Mental health involves your emotions, your thoughts, and your behavior. Emotions, you're feeling happy, you're feeling excited. I don't know, how are you feeling today morning? Are you feeling excited? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling sad? So your emotions. Your thoughts, what are you thinking? As you are here seated, what are you thinking? And then your behavior. Your behavior is now when you're seated here and listening to us, that is your behavior. So all those things constitute your mental health. For you to be stable and strong, your mental health needs to be the same. If your mental health does not have stability and strength, what you call resilience, it will affect even how you are able to cope with the things you're doing in a daily life. So I want to ask you 3 questions, and I want you to respond in the chat section. 1, do you feel good about yourself? Okay. Do you feel good about yourself? Number 2, do you feel comfortable with other people? It could be people who you are with at home. Right now you're at home, or anywhere you are with your guardians. Do you feel comfortable with them? When you come to school, I'll ask you, do you feel comfortable with your hostels or roommates in your hostel or where you'll be living? Do you feel comfortable with your teachers, with your lecturers, with your classmates? Do you feel comfortable with the people? Number 3, are you able to meet life's demands? So for you right now, I'm asking you, are you able to meet the demands placed upon you, which in your case is studying? Critical thing for you in university is studying. So are you able to meet that demand placed upon you? Okay, I'll skip. This is what I want to be able to share. That the biggest issue is that we can't see. I can't see you and say that you have a particular mental health concern. You see, when you're sick physically, you can say, someone can see your eyes are red, or you look maybe your stomach is paining, you're having a running stomach. There's a physical manifestation, but for mental concern, mental issues, when someone can't see what's going on inside of you, and that can become a very, very grave issue. So many people ignore it. And I've seen someone ask in the chat, how can you be able to know you have stress? I love that question, because many times people don't know that you're having a mental health concern, that you're emotionally not okay. And then you think, it's just normal. Then you continue ignoring it. You continue piling and piling and piling. And by the time we are realizing, something devastating has taken place. It's important to monitor your emotional well-being and your mental health. How are your thoughts? What are you feeling? How are you thinking? If you're constantly feeling low, feeling unworthy, feeling like you're not capable, that's something which you should be able to address, because how you are created, naturally you, the way God made you, you have the capacity to feel good without relying on anything else. You don't need to rely on drugs to get high and to get excited. You have within you everything required to be able to think well, to be rational, to reason, and everything it takes to have a good life. Okay. So why is this very critical? Because around the world, 20% of the world's children and adolescents have mental disorders or problems. And about half of the mental disorders begin at the age before the age of 14. Now, you're coming to university away from your family, away from your friends. Maybe something happened when you were young. And it was something which maybe you didn't understand, you didn't know then, or you were exposed to a phenomenon which was very, very shocking for you, or what you call traumatizing for you. And then now, because you're in this place, somehow it dawns upon you that this is something I went through and it was a bit shocking for me. So it can now start disturbing you now. As Lydia said, feel free to reach out to them. The other point, mental substance abuse disorders are the leading cause of disability around the world, meaning many people have mental issues, and these are seriously causing disability in terms of how we are not able to function fully the way we should be. Issues of suicide. This month, September was a month where we talk about suicide and what is happening. And statistics around that are very, very, very concerning. So when someone is having suicidal thoughts, you can't see, you can't know. Their behavior, if you're keen, might show you, but the same thing, it's a mental health concern. And this is why it's a critical issue for us to be able to discuss. Yesterday, or this, I don't know if you guys have seen the news. I think yesterday, we had the story in the news of a young person. They were in a relationship. Someone stabbed the other one. I think, is it a class 8 or a primary? Who stabbed someone in Form 2? You see, you can't be able to know what someone is thinking. I'm sure maybe they were at home with their people, but no one knew what this person was planning. So that is a evidence of why mental health is a grave, grave issue, because some of these things, they can really cause damage to us. So monitor your thoughts. That's the one thing I want to really drive home. Okay, so this is what I was saying earlier on. At times you can be, maybe you have lived through issues that are a bit challenging for you. Maybe it was war, a disaster. In Kenya, we have population violence. At times we have floods. Nowadays we are having earthquakes, but not very much. Drought is a major issue in our country, and this can tend, if you're not able to cope. Remember, some can be able to cope. Someone might have grown up in an area where there's always drought, and they have learned how to cope with that. But if you haven't, and maybe you have a time when you experience complete lack, you will wonder, what do I do about this? So it's good to be able to know where are you at with regard to what is happening around you. Yes. Okay, among young people, 1 in 5 young people suffer from mental illness. So I see we are 112 here. You can do the mathematics. Within Kenyan environment, there's some things which can predispose you to mental health concerns or challenging. So in secondary school, there's some things which you can go through that can be a bit challenging for you. Now my focus is on university. What are things which in university can predispose you to mental health concerns? And you know that the good thing that what I'm talking about has mentioned earlier on, a key one is relationships. Many people want to do relationship when you're in college. And if you're not able to do them successfully or to cope with what goes around that issue of relationships, it can be a major, major area of concern with regard to your mental health. Your studies can be a major area of concern. As you're being told, time management, don't do your cuts, don't do your segments at the last minute. Why? Because you will be anxious, you will be stressed, you will be overwhelmed. You're wondering, how do I cope with this? So those are things which can be able to predispose you to mental health concerns. The company you keep at night. I heard you mentioning at night. What are you doing in the evenings? Are you going out to the town, getting arrested? I mean, when you get arrested, for sure, and your parents are thinking you are in school, that whole thing becomes stressful for you. and it is unavoidable. So those are some of the issues which can be able to contribute to mental health concerns, challenges when you're in school. When you finish school, there's the issue of employment, but those are for later. The thing is that now, if you are able to manage your life very well, if you're able to manage your time well, if you're able to cope with stress now, chances are very high that even in future, what you go through, you will cope with it. But if you don't manage your time well, if you mismanage your time when you're in university and you don't study, you don't get good grades, you don't have a good transcript, that will affect the point number 3. Your employment becomes a challenge. As Dean told you, they will check to see who has the best grades. Even if you call for a panel, they'll want to see who has the best grades. So your management of time now affects your performance in school, which affects your employability. And all these things now, they contribute to affecting your mental health. The same thing with relationships. If you engage in unhealthy relationships when you're in college and you end up messing in one way or the other, when you finish school, you're thinking you want to do a big grand wedding and invite us, but you had messed up, it will affect you in that area. So this is a foundation you're building for the next phase of your life. So don't think that you will stay in campus forever, but what you do now won't affect you later on in life. So cyberbullying is a major issue of distress amongst young people. This is where you receive messages that are threatening to you, or they're aggressive. They can be text, they can be online posts, which can be embarrassing or threatening you. And I have seen young people nowadays, because the online space has become very big. Even before COVID, now COVID has made us even to do this what you're doing online. But before COVID, we were on social media, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on Twitter, and the rest, you know them. So what happens is that when you're in that space, you need to be very careful of what you can do, what you can't do. But also ask yourself, how are you engaging with other people in that space? Are you having what you call healthy online interactions? Even as we are here in this setting, I saw someone posting about sleep, and someone was making fun. I could see the 2 eyes being posted. So are you conduct yourself in a healthy way when you're in the online space? Now, a critical thing for you young people, nowadays when people are employing people, when you're looking for an employee, you want to do a thorough background. So that includes even checking their online history. So somebody will be told, my name is Helen, go and check Helen online. And then they want to see what I've been doing. If what you have put in the CV and what you have been doing online, even if you did not know, even if you are young, even if you are in college, there will be no excuse. They will look at it and they will say, because of this, we can't hire you, or because of this, we fire you. It has happened. I think you've seen it. The other day, we had somebody being taken off a serious post in our country because of what she had posted. It wasn't even bad. It wasn't insulting, but it was just a controversial statement she made. And being appointed in the place where she was being put on, it was something which was a bit of concern. So what you post online at times can't go. Even if you delete, someone might have already taken a photo and it stays there. Then they remind you. So be very careful what you do in the online space. Now, we have like here we are having an official meeting. We're in an official online space. When you're with your friends chatting in WhatsApp, you are in an official online space. So those two spaces have different codes of communication, different ways of relating. When you're in this space, including your classrooms, kindly monitor and check on how you're communicating. This is not the place for you to be sending those emojis and all those things that you're posting. This is an official platform. You could easily be called even to an interview forum, and this is the kind of thing you'll be put in. Can you be able to distinguish between those two spaces? If it's an official platform, ensure you are doing official communication. Now, this means even when you're in class with your lecturers in a Zoom platform, that is an official place. Please check on how you communicate, check on how you dress, check on how you're groomed. I was able to see most of you look good. I'm able to see your video. That's fantastic. Please, this is like the way you'd come to class. Don't come to class when you're in bed, or don't come to class when you're when you're still sleepy, no, get prepared as you're told, wake up early, prepare, and be here in an official capacity. When you ask questions, respond to them that way. If you are with your friends, you can use slang, you can use emojis, you can use all those things. But with your lecturers, with people who are maybe your potential employers, your dean could be asked to recommend you. If he has been seeing you communicating in a funny manner, he'll be saying that one, I don't think they're serious. And then maybe you are the best candidate. So how you communicate is very, very key. How you present yourself is very, very key. Be courteous. Courtesy is very, very important, both in real life and also in the online space. But I see most of us, we throw away that issue of courtesy in the online space. Please be courteous. Please be respectful. Be prepared, as I said. Be able to know, are you in a place where you're able to have that? If I say I want so and so to respond, where you are, you should not have noise in your background. You can be able to communicate clearly. Try as much as possible to be able to do that. Don't be the one causing people to have negative issues when they're in the online space. Don't be the one who is sending embarrassing messages or threatening posts. Even if mekosana na your person you are seeing in a relationship, please don't post things which will embarrass them. There are things that the government right now is taking very seriously, issues about online harassment, online stalking, and they can be able to follow up. In case you are a victim, I've seen some people who are victims of bullying in the online space. Don't be afraid. Be able to speak up and say, I am being bullied by this person, or I am being stalked, or I am being threatened, and be able to take the necessary measures. Report. The government has put in very strict measures about online space related harassment. Are you being harassed by someone in the online space? This could be someone of your age, your peer, or even someone older. Do not keep quiet. Again, I say, don't keep quiet. Most people who are victims of abuse, it thrives because they keep quiet. So whenever you're abused by anybody, online or not online, please don't be quiet. Please stand up for yourself. Please seek help. Please report. If it is unhealthy or bad messages, don't delete, save them. They can be used as evidence, maybe in a court of law or in a court case. Have boundaries. Be aware of what you're posting online. In case someone wants to take your pictures of what you've posted online, and this is now you when you're maybe 18 years old or 19 years old. Will you be okay with that same photo being seen when you're president of the country? So be able to know, how much should I be able to post in the online space about myself? What happens in the online space, if someone is experiencing cyberbullying, it can really lower their self-esteem. If someone is posting things about you that are false, that are embarrassing, that are humiliating, it can really affect your self-esteem. People even go into depression. Some even end up in their own lives dying by suicide. Some fight back and become bullies themselves. I've seen people who now become, because I have been bullied so much on Twitter, even now me, I become among the bullies. I've seen some who are mentally traumatized that they are completely shocked. They don't know how to cope in that space anymore. And some can even completely log out and avoid the online space. In case of school, some will even skip school. So I'm telling you guys, in case you see yourself or your friend, just know this could be an issue of cyberbullying. Okay, that's a picture to just see what you just to say to you something. I don't know what you see there. What do you see? Can you able to just comment in chat? So what do you see there? I see many things, but I don't know what you see. So do you think this lady is coping? How is she? What do you see before I say, I may be led to give back answer, but what do you see from that picture? Anybody in the chat? I'm looking to see. What do you see in the chat section? What do you see in the picture? Okay. That might be the life of somebody in campus very, very easily. Okay. That could be the life of somebody in campus very, very easily. So someone is saying her mind is so overwhelmed, depressed, confused, really. Okay, thank you for that. Someone is saying that her mind has so many things. True. So you can see me, at least I can see E is equals to MC squared. I think you know that formula if you did some subjects in high school. Then there's a part says work overloaded. And then do you see that circle? The circle which is showing half his work. Then there's party somewhere, sleep, eat. Is that proper time management? I don't know how for you it would look like. Then there's somewhere where there's stress, there's peer pressure, there's freedom. I think she's doing which degree is this? What degree do you think she's doing that has E is equals to MC squared? It has bars and graphs. So you can see all that. Above her head, you can see a box which has some dimensions. You can see a bottle there, party tonight. She has deadlines. So I can hear what your dean was telling you. You know, if you're not managing your time well, you'll be not likely to be in this space. And the question is, will you be able to cope with what is happening in that particular area? Okay, another gentleman here. What do you see? You know, you have to show a gender balance. That was a lady. No, this is a gentleman. What do you see? What do you see? Okay, statistics. Statistics. Actually, this is PhD in stress. Statistics. Her mind is overloaded. Yeah, it could be. For the gentleman, what do you see? A lot of work to do. Too much reading. That is who you in the library. How you'll be doing long time management. I want that in high schools. Lazy human being, really? Hakuwa nasoma, Sunday exam imefika, ameamka. And now they have to read all those things. Thank you for your feedback. Overloaded exam times. Hey, Rastaman, really? Okay, so I think with that, I come to the end of my presentation. I'll hand it over back to you, Dr. Shadrach and Lydia. Thank you so much for attending and even interacting with me. I have really enjoyed myself and I hope you have learned something. Thank you and God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, Ellen Wangoi, for that wonderful presentation on mental wellness, how we interact positively online. That has been wonderful with the slides there. I believe our students have really enjoyed that. So issues about cyberbullying, yeah, so it is important. Maybe I can say that if the way you can report, this one is important. You can report maybe to someone that you trust, maybe your parents, a close family member, or even a trusted adult, or even a professional counselor. And at times you can also consider blocking the bully, of course, if it is happening in the social platform. And just as Ellen has said, collect that evidence, the text messages and the screenshots of the social media posts. Those ones, they are important. You see, you can use them. So if you are in an immediate danger, you can as well even call the police. So it is important for us at this time and age not to share our details. You can prevent your personal information from being used to manipulate you or even humiliate you in the social media. So think twice before you post. Actually, I've been telling the student leaders, because what you really post, maybe in the WhatsApp or any other group, be very careful about sharing your information. Just be careful about sharing that kind of information online. It may stay online forever, and this could be used even to harm you later. So don't give out, just as I've said, and don't give out personal details. For example, your address, your telephone. I've seen the number of areas whereby people want to give in their details, telephone numbers, your school. Some of these are they are fake sites and they are serious ones. So learn on your privacy setting on your favorite social media applications. So decide who can see your profile, if it is in the Facebook, if it's the Instagram or wherever. So you can also send direct messages or comments to people that you just decide can see them. Not everything for public consumption. Naona hata wengine wanasema maybe wanapigwa picha, this is where we are, and people even can track you, they can follow you, posting pictures wherever. Maybe you are swimming, you are wherever, and I don't know. People really just portray a lot in the social media, and some of these things, of course, they can, as Elena said, they can portray so much about your personality. So you can report artful comments, messages, and the photos and requests. Uh, they can be removed. So kindly you can completely also block people to stop them from seeing your profile, or you delete the post on your profile. So thank you very much. Concerning the laws on cyberbullying, these days some of these things are relatively new, so they may not really exist very clearly, and many countries, of course, they will rely on other relevant laws, for example, like harassment, or how to go about this. So that one has been wonderful. Thank you very much, Ellen, for that wonderful presentation. Unless if there are some questions from the chat, Ellen, maybe you can respond to them. Let's check from the chat and see.
I've seen more. Okay, let me see. Question. I've seen the feedback. Thank you for the feedback.
Yes.
Thank you for the feedback. I see a question here. Exactly, the guy suffers from mental illness and he has to be medicated. It's a serious issue, not so human. Okay, I don't know. Emmanuel Kimeli, I don't get your question. Okay. I see the chat was very, very busy and active.
Busy. Maybe let's just try to scroll, and as we assist you to get some of the areas, if there is a question. But there are compliments. Nice, madam.
Okay, I see a question here. How can you do away with peer groups?
Yes.
Okay, so peer groups are not bad. Peers are not bad. And at every step in life, you'll have peers. You'll have people who are your peers. Your peers are your age mates, or people in the same status or level you're in life. So peers are not bad. The only dangerous thing comes in when the people who you are staying with or socializing with, they influence you in unhealthy ways that can be detrimental for you. So peer groups are not bad. Actually, in university, you do so much of peer work, isn't it, Dr. Shadrach? You'll do a lot of group discussions, group assignments. I mean, the games you will be with peers. Now, the only thing you need to be able to know is at any one point, first of all, know yourself. Know what are your values. Please don't throw your values away because you come to university. The same way, umefunzwa na mama yako, come with those values to university. If you see someone telling you to do something which is not what you have been taught when all through in your life, don't acquire now new ways of values that are contrary to what you know. So know your values, know your principles, know your beliefs, know your stance. So when you're able to come to university and you're with the friends and peers, if you find that they are engaging in things contrary to that, that's when you say, no, this one is not for me. But I also want to challenge you. Can you be the one to choose the kind of friends? Don't wait until people come to choose you. You'll be able to say the kind of friends I want to engage with. And then now look for those kind of friends. The also things that the people you friendship with in campus, they'll influence you in a big way, and they might even be your friends for life. Yeah. And then someone says, if you want to know someone's character, observe their friends. So your friends influence you in a big way, and you can't avoid peers. Just that know who are the kind of peers you want to be able to socialize or be around with. I see more questions. Do I continue, Dr. Shadrach?
Yeah, you can continue. Yeah, sorry.
I can continue.
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay. Ian is saying, can one stay a purely private life without friends? Not possible. That certainly would be an issue of concern, Ian. If I realize you have no friends completely, at least huwezi kosa mmoja, one friend. So we may be an introvert, maybe don't like socializing so much, which is okay. And let it be your own choice. Let it be that it is you who is saying, I don't really want to have friends, but you'll have family, you'll have your cousins. So even those are part of friends. So it's very hard to say completely you have no friends. But maybe that's an issue you want to discuss more with your counselor, Lydia, or the dean. Missing someone, new category of stress. I'm stressed. When you're missing somebody, okay, when you're missing somebody, that is not stress, that is normal. That's very normal. Even when you're in high school, in case you're in boarding school, when you went to high school and you're away from your parents, you miss them, you long to be at home with them. So that's a normal feeling to the environment, to the behavior. That's very normal. Now, what you do with that feeling is what matters. Sawa sawa. So when you miss someone, that's okay. But now, how do you communicate that to them? Maybe you be patient until when you can meet them or see them. So that is very okay to miss somebody. Betrayal by a close relative or friends who you had said it leads to a chronic stress. Okay. So if you have been betrayed, that can be very, very painful. I imagine they're very, very painful. And it can even make you lose trust. And you guys are very, very young. You're very young to start having betrayal and losing trust. So it's good. Please reach out to your dean. Reach out to your counselor. Reach out to somebody even at home. Reach out to someone who you can trust. But don't keep quiet with it, because the more you pile up issues within you and you don't talk them out, the more they pile. At one point they may come to explode. Okay, and that explosion can be in very, very bad ways. So what I would recommend, reach out to somebody, even if it's in a church setup. Look for someone who you can be able to trust, who they can be able to give you objectivity in that issue, not taking sides, and someone who will be able to handle that issue with utmost confidentiality. So don't get into chronic stress or depression. Not good for you. Okay, Derek, I think I've responded to your question about missing somebody. That is good stress. You're stress mbaya. Yes, you can manage that. You can cope. Remember how we defined mental health? You can cope with that. You can cope with missing somebody. Helping those who are bullied. Then you can, if you're being bullied, you can report and ask who is this who is bullying you. Then the university can help you to follow up on the same. Identifying a good friend. Okay, I think that one, Shadrach, you will do a session on identify about relationships and friendships. That can be a whole topic. But a good friend depends on your values. So a good friend is somebody, most likely the first thing you'll have is similar values. That's a very key one. I don't think you can have friends who don't have similar values with. Of course, you have fun with them. It's not toxic. Toxic means they don't belittle you or put you down or make fun of you. But when they make fun of you, they want to check out you. So a good friend is you're having, a good friendship where you're both enjoying the friendship. You're able to have similar values, similar goals in life, where you want to go. So maybe if somebody wants to be able to pursue their studies to the highest level, you're able to journey together. So those are some of the things I can say. Madam Lydia's contacts. Can crying help in relieving stress? Online disadvantages. Can overwhelming lead to stress? Okay, I think I'll welcome Dean not to take over from there. They're around stress. Yes, back to you.
Yes, repeat the question.
I'm seeing a question on, first of all, the students are asking how they can be able to reach you or Madam Lydia for assistance. And then, can crying help in relieving stress?
Yes. So, like when we are not physically in campus, like now, of course, I have a telephone number where My students can call me directly because we are there for them. Maybe at the end of this session, we can give that number. Still also through the official email, dos at tharaka.ac.ke. Students can write something, it will come directly to us. Madam Lydia also is available for students. When we're there physically, we have an office where students come anytime. The office is open to them any time of the day from 8 to 5 or another time they can call. So we are there to meet with them. Any concern concerning students, whether maybe there are issues affecting the family, relationships like what you are talking about. There are areas, of course, when they want issues, maybe on a confidential level, they can come and share with the counselors. We also have the peer counselors in the university. Maybe they can start at that level where there are some issues that they can settle among themselves as a student, one-on-one, the peer counselors. So we have an elaborate counseling setup that is there to assist the students on all matters relating to their welfare within the university. So you have said that if somebody crying is good, it's important. So like when you see people, maybe they've been bereaved and people even want to stop them from crying, it's not good. Just leave that person to cry. Of course, they are releasing their emotions. Uh, Actually, men are the ones culturally who do not cry, but the ladies, they often cry. Okay, because of the way we have been brought up, our culture. But crying is good for our health. You see, it offers some catharsis. Of course, there is that relief effect emotionally. So it is helpful to reduce that. So even men, I'll encourage you if you feel like crying. But of course, I'm not saying that just cry in public. You can even go to a closet and cry, and then you'll be relieved. You'll be relieved. So crying is good. It is good. It is psychological. There is that psychological relief. What was the other question, Helen?
If someone can be stressed because of being overwhelmed, if when someone is overwhelmed, it can lead to stress.
Of course, overwhelming, the term is general, but we believe when you are overwhelmed, maybe it is work. It could be out of, you see, there is what we call academic overload, and especially where you are not managing your time well. Imagine you have been misusing your time and you realize that you have 8 units to revise and the exam is in 1 week's time. In that way, you are going to be overwhelmed. So of course, you will change your sleeping pattern. You see yourself waking up very early or sleeping very late, and then you get stressed up. There will be anxiety. You'll get overwhelmed. There are a number of things, of course, that can overwhelm you depending on how you are handling your life. As you are saying, if you are not having, because there are these components of awareness. There is the spiritual awareness. That's an area. There is the social awareness. Of course, if you are having problem with relationships, you are somebody who is drunkard. You are not taking your time properly. You have even spent all your money that is meant for food by taking drugs. So you go angry. You go for lectures when you are angry in an empty stomach. Maybe you have relationship issues with other students. You are quarreling. Huh? You are not eating well. So your body is not having energy. You mentally, you are unstable. So you'll get overwhelmed. Yes, you'll get overwhelmed. You'll get stressed and you can suffer mental breakdown. You start even having, you see, diseases that are not there, diseases that are not there. So you suffer disorders. You can have a lot of headache, you can have a lot of diarrhea, you can have mood swings, so many other problems because of not being able to manage the things that are around you. So that's why when we are having such a topic like this, mental health and wellness, You know how to balance your life issues, having proper time management. You understand who you are. If it is about friends, at what limit? And what kind of friends are you having? Are these friends the ones that are adding value maybe to your studies? Are they assisting you? Or these are friends that are drawing you backwards? See, in the university, okay, there are those who could be married. But are you there now? Do you have a goal? Or you're just thinking about marriage? Issues to do with the sexuality, pornography, because you maybe you have introduced yourself to online issues that you are unable to come out. You are unable to come out. Yeah. There is a time a student in a certain university came to see me. I was actually having a session. It was in the CU after I maybe preached to them and the students, so that you see, I am so much disturbed because I am hooked to a number of things. I'm hooked to pornography. How can I come out? I have tried to come out. You see, so you can be overwhelmed by so many things. That's why we are taking this time so that you'll have a moment of soul searching, do some introspection, and then you'll be able to plan well before you start even this campus life. Because we believe and we pray that you complete well at the end of the 4 years when you are holistically well prepared to handle life, not alone, not alone in the area of academics, but also your entire life. Yes.
Okay, I see a question here. If one has a bullying mate, but you fear to tell anyone, maybe due because when they realize they may take a ruthless step. Somebody is being bullied, maybe by someone close. A bullying mate, does that mean the person you are in a relationship with, they are bullying you and you're afraid to take a step because they may react in a very aggressive way if they realize you have reported them?
One, maybe if it's a bullying mate, if of course you are staying in the same room, I think the best thing is, of course, to separate in an amicable way. Maybe you can come to the Dean of Students office, you share with us on a private manner. Then if you are staying in the same room and you have realized that maybe unajua kuna vile watu wanaweza wekwa pamoja, but then of course at some point you realize this is not working, so you can decide to part. But also, of course, if it's a bullying mate where you are in a relationship, you require, of course, to seek advice or counsel, or now maybe to go about it, depending on the context of what is happening. But it is important to disengage. Yeah. If you realize that that one is causing trouble to you. There are
So
ways of coming out.
in addition to what you mentioned, maybe I can add that at times, what we see as bullying can be somebody who is somebody who is abusive and hostile, and
Yes.
it normally begins in small ways. So if you don't take a step when it is still that bullying, at times we have seen things going very quickly from simple small things and to get into very complex matters. So it's good to always, anything small which causes you to have, the way you have red flags, you become
Red
concerned,
flag.
you are wondering. That tells you that you're not okay, something is disturbed in you. So learn to listen to that instinct, that voice telling you something here is not right. Listen to it and act on it. The more you listen to it, the more you build your internal mechanism for relying on yourself and trusting your capabilities. But the more you don't do that, the more you end up doubting yourself, lowering your self-esteem, questioning who you are. That can be very tricky. More so if you're into a relationship.
Yes.
Okay,
So
someone
Ellen, don't do it until something becomes a crisis.
yes.
So as we are talking about the red flag signals, be very careful on observing some of the things. You see, there are times people say, no, these things are going to change, they are going to improve. So you need to take precaution as early as possible. Yeah.
Thank you. Someone has sent me a private message. They're asking if you experience a longer period of lower than usual interest in activities that you usually, how can you go about it?
Yeah, actually it was in the chat.
Okay.
Yes. So you can answer that.
Okay, so when you see that that's what I was saying. When you see something is differing or is going away from your normal self, so you're seeing that you're experiencing a longer period of lower than usual interest activities. Meaning you normally have an interest in those activities. Maybe you like, for example, going to church, and suddenly you don't feel like going, you don't feel like even anything on Sunday, and that's something you have been doing consistently and continuously, and you enjoy so much. Or maybe you have friends you like to hang out with and have a good time with, and suddenly that has changed. That can be an issue of concern, because what is causing you to behave that way? What is causing you to feel lower than usual? And so it's good to be able to assess what is happening. Sometimes maybe you might have gone through an issue that has caused you to get closed in, to avoid people, or to lose interest. It could be temporary. But when it goes on experiencing the way you're saying for a longer period of time, that now can be an issue of concern. And the question for you is, what has been going on in your life, which now requires a bit of more interaction to know what has been going on in your life to cause you to suddenly have this extended period of losing interest in the normal day activities. And that is normally how we define something in psychology, but I don't want to use it now. But that is an issue which may need a little bit more discussion to know what is happening with you. Yes. Then someone asking, what of going to a private quiet place will help? Of course, I love nature, and like in Chuka and even Tharaka, you have so many natural spots under a tree, by the river, somewhere you're able to just sit down, but maybe in the field when there's nobody there, you're able to sit down and just listen to your thoughts, to meditate, to have a quiet time. So that is a fantastic way. Lydia mentioned about ways of managing stress. Just even being there helps you to lessen so many thoughts. Those of you who might come from the coastal region, you see the whole country moves from pande wa Nibara wanaenda upande wa pwani, because they know how nature helps in a big way to calm you down, to cool you down. So when you're able to have that private and quiet moment, and if you can reach more so like now under a tree, it can really help you in a big way. So that is a good way of actually dealing with your stress. If feeling anxiety or discomfort around friends bothers you, what can you do to manage this? The question is, what is it that makes you have anxiety around your friends? So that's something, again, now which needs to be looked at into deeper details. What is making you have that anxiety or discomfort around your friends? Is it the friends, or is it you? Yeah, is it the friends, or is it you? So know that those are two different things. If it's the friends, no, friends in quotes, because friends shouldn't cause you discomfort. When you're your friends, you should be able to feel at home and to be yourself. But if it's causing you anxiety and discomfort, there's a room for concern there. Yeah, so chances are very high there's that your natural that intrinsic voice in you is telling you something is not right here. The way I am, the way you know yourself, you always know yourself. Within you know who you are, your values, your beliefs. And then these friendships, they're not going together. There's friction. And that friction is what is making you feel discomfort or anxiety. Chances are very high. So it's good to be able to examine what is happening there and then make that decision. Do you want to do what is more good for you? Is it the peace of mind you have, or is it the friendship? So weigh that and see what is more important. Sharing ideas relieve stress. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. What about yelling or screaming? Can it help? Yes, it's one way of relieving stress, but you've got to be able to yell and scream in a conducive environment. You can't go yelling and screaming everywhere. People will think you've gone crazy. So you need to look for a place you can yell and scream without causing stress for other people. So if you go yell and scream at your parents, or if you go and yell and scream at your neighbors, you're causing stress for them. So even as you're dealing with your stress, it should not be causing stress to other. Yes, thank you. I think that is it, Dr. Shadrach.
Thank you very much. Ellen, Lydia, you are there. Lydia? Okay, maybe there is another question here. Can single relationship lead to mental instability in campus, or can the same lead you to success? What do you encourage on this? I don't know what about this single relationship. Uh, single relationships, single relationship. It's in the chat. Can single relationship lead to mental instability in campus, or can the same lead you to success? Or you answered it? Yes.
I'm wondering the same thing. I'm wondering, now when you say about a single relationship, do you mean a one-time relationship, or when you only have one relationship? That is a very that question is very, it can be understood in many ways. But I think, Dr. Shadrach, I've seen many of people are asking that issue. I think it's fair to organize a separate session where now it can be discussed, because I know it's a major one, and given the age, it's an issue of concern, or maybe you're already in relationships. So I think because of time,
Yes.
another session we can have a discussion on about relationships, single or multiple, in campus, not in campus, with family, with friends, all those things now discussed in a different setup. Then we can be able to respond to all the queries around that.
Yes. Well, thank you, Ellen. Because also the question by itself is somehow ambiguous. Just as you are saying, we'll have time to get to handle some of these things in a deeper way. These topical areas. It's an area of concern. Somebody was asking whether we have scheduled time for co-curricular activities in the university. And let me say that we do not have a timetable. Just the way we have it in high school, where maybe a particular day, Monday, it is for drama, it is for debating, Tuesday, it is for the movement and things like that. But of course, within clubs, most of these activities basically take place after Sundays in the evening, maybe after 5. But still, there is no one who has refused you to be in the field even during the day. If you are free at that time, you can go. If there is a swimming pool, you just go and you do your activity. If it is for the Christian Union, these activities take place in the evening. Of course, basically after classes, either from 6, 7, that's when you can conduct your activities, because during the day, it is basically academic work. Then maybe other activities like moving out, if it is the movements, activities moving out, basically they encourage during the weekend so that they don't interfere so much with your academic programs within the weekdays. But we do not have a timetable. You see, a university has so many varied activities. There are so many programs. There are so many courses. So it is you to identify your area. And even the timetable, you will not be provided with that. Okay, there is a block, but you see from your department, that's where you will get your timetable for the class attendance or for the lectures.
There's somebody who has sent me a message inbox asking, kindly, madam, to become a professional counselor, does one have to pursue a particular course?
Yes.
That is about career counseling. Yes, so yes, you need to pursue a particular course, and I know in Tharaka you have courses in counseling psychology.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
That is the degree to be able to pursue to become a professional counselor. Yes.
Yeah. So there is a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Then there is a counseling psychology. You'll have a master's in counseling psychology. You can move on to that. I mean, even the PhD is counseling psychology. But we have different branches of psychology. But this maybe could be for another time. But you take a particular path for that. Thank you, Ellen.
Then can having a big vision lead to stress? It's a good one.
Having a big
vision leads to stress.
well, maybe about vision, are we talking about goals? You say that you need to set smart goals, things that are realistic. Like I cannot say that in the next 5 years I will buy an helicopter myself. And then I am struggling to see how I can buy an helicopter. It can give me a lot of stress. So we operate within our means. Our means. Yes, when you set a vision, set your vision or set goals. Let me say that set goals that are realistic. Set smart goals that are time bound, that are measurable, things that you can achieve. Maybe giving, of course, yourself time. So that's critical. Like you cannot say that I will do my PhD within 3 years. Yes, of course, we know that 3 years is the minimum. And if you take 5 years, because there are other extraneous, there are other factors that maybe are beyond your control. So it's also good for us to be flexible. As we set goals, we need to assess ourselves. As you move on, you do some monitoring, you do some evaluation, and check yourself within what we call realistic. Operate within a reality. Yeah.
Can I say something on that?
Yes.
There's something Lydia mentioned about positive stress. So there is the positive stress. Maybe your big vision is to, I don't know what it is, but maybe you have maybe for now in campus you want to be the best student, the ones who get the best chancellor's award. So that can be a big vision, but it will give you positive stress, and that will, what you call eustress, it helps you to channel all your energy towards realizing that. So sometimes if it's a positive, in a positive way, and as you've been told by your dean, it's smart, it is realistic, it might require a little bit of stretching from you, but in that process of being stretching and stressing, now the positive stress, you are able to get to cope. You the more you stretch, the more you're able to learn to exercise your muscles of thinking, of stretching your time, and it can now help you be able to learn how to cope and to be able to realize on that big vision. Someone is asking privately, Madam, what is the first step one should take when someone by different texts direct to you? I think you saw about relationships. So I think, Dean, you have a concern about relationships there. I don't know what is the first step. I wouldn't encourage you people to start relationship with you when you're in college. I think if you focus on that so much, it will be a missing of what brought you to university. So I wouldn't encourage. I know at times it is inevitable, we end up there, but if you're able to, I would challenge you, can you be able to focus all your energies towards pursuing your academic studies and ensuring that you're able to have everything that you're supposed to do in university done? Engage in the clubs, engage in the games, engage your lecturers. Then after that, you can be able to pursue a relationship. Why? When you're in a relationship, the purpose is for what? It's not just for dating and saying you're dating somebody. It is to end up in a marriage situation. So do you want to get married in the next 1 year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years? If you want to get married, fine. The first step, go for premarital counseling. But if you're not planning to get married, you're planning to break up and then start breaking people's hearts, their emotions. So this is not something I would encourage as the thing to pursue now. I wouldn't encourage it. But I say, I think Dr. Shadrach is something which needs to be discussed, the different setup. Yes.
Yes. Any other question, really? I'm trying to check. I can see there are a number of, you see they are grounded. Somebody is asking, does the university help those who are bullied in search of justice? if you report to authorities. Of course, we have areas of redress. That's why the counseling department, the dean of students office is there. That's where you come, you report, and then your case will be handled accordingly, because everyone has a right to have peaceful life in the university. You see, this one cannot be answered directly, it will be followed within what is there. Yeah, so we handle things within the university, and if it's something, of course, that goes beyond even the university, it can be taken further. Yes. So one has to have freedom of life and being free. Yes, and the university is there for you.
Someone is asking, at which stage is it right for one to begin dating?
Okay. Uh-huh. You want to answer that? You can answer that. Is there any specific time?
So yeah, my dear young students, please, I really want to say there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. There's no particular time. But again, you know, if you want to go to Mombasa, you'll take the route which leads you there. So the stage, the time, the step depends with where you want to end up going. So the goal, what is your goal? What is your goal with what you want to do? So with the goal you have, the vision you have, or the goal you have will help you to be able to know at what stage, at what time, which avenue, all those things. So when you have your goal set, all these things will fall into place. Yeah. But I think as I have said, we'll organize. Dean has agreed. We'll organize for a time when you're able to discuss everything around relationships and exhaust them completely. Say Faith is asking, what if someone has helped you and he wants something in return? I mean, that person wants to date you. That is not right, Faith. That is what we call coercion and manipulation. If somebody has helped you, they help you from the kindness of their heart. Again about relationships. So that's what kind of help were you given? And then if they want something in return, if you can't return what they want in return, they don't compromise on yourself or anything about you. That's very important. And if it is somebody in authority and you feel it's challenging, please report. It is wrong. Even if you're in a school setup, maybe you're in a high school or university, if someone in authority helps you and they want something in return, that is wrong. That is using their position to get from you. By virtue of them being in a powerful position, they can do that. So someone should never help you and then expect anything in return. That's how corruption happens. Yeah. So if someone has helped you, they should not, when someone helps you, they shouldn't expect anything in return. But the best thing is you're able to clarify before even if you're asking for help from somebody, clarify from them, is there anything you want in return before they give you that help? And now if you feel it's becoming a bit too much, please, as Yodin mentioned, please speak out, come and tell someone, I'm going through this. Don't keep quiet with it. Yeah. Difference of stress and depression.
Okay, Ellen, before you move from that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and of course, those are issues that are bordering on blackmail. That's the one that it's not. And even when you are getting some favors, be very careful, students. Be very careful what kind of favors and gifts that you are receiving, especially from maybe the opposite sex and or somebody saying even people in authority. Know yourself, understand yourself, know your values. And if it's about the bit that she has talked about relationships, so we are talking of being task oriented. Know what you want at a particular time. Don't confuse yourself. Maybe the question that you need to ask about the right time to date. Maybe are you dating for what? You are dating so that you want to have a life partner, you want to marry. At what time do you want to marry? Is it when you are in the university, or when, first of all, you have completed, when you have graduated? Because there are sometimes, of course, there are time limits. There are time limits. The way you set yourself, how prepared are you, even economically? Are you ready to raise a family? Because now, if you are set, are you ready to take care, to cater for your spouse? Maybe if you are a man, for your wife, where are you going to settle? So there are a number of pertinent questions that you need to ask yourself. And I believe, as she has said, some of these things can be done. You see, you will attend, of course, a premarital counseling sessions. Of course, after the university, of course, then that's when we expect you to go to venture into other aspects of life. Yeah, so that's why those things are really ringing in the minds of students who are in the university. But there is a way you can easily confuse yourself, and you miss out in all of them, because when you're supposed to have the foundational element of your career, then even the issue of marriage becomes a problem. So I think at that point, that's what I can say for now. You can proceed, Ellen. There is something that you are saying.
Yes, there's a question here, the difference between stress and depression. And then someone's asking, Helen, is one stable in dating 5 people? Help such that I may take a step if I'm a victim. Then someone else is asking, what if a person has been dating you for long and you don't want to engage in a relationship? How can you cope with that? Then another question, if is it right to date a coursemate? So dating. So these people are already dating, they're already dating, they're in relationships. Yes.
Maybe some issues may also border on perceptions. Maybe what people think about. It could be a marriage. It could be a marriage. But we'll organize a session on relationships, and you realize these are issues of concern, and it is good when they're addressed. People or students have proper knowledge. So through group counseling, this one would be fine. It would be fine. But I wonder also how one can date 5 people at the same time. I think that one is confusion. That is confusion. That is confusion. You need to prioritize. You need to know what you want. You are having all the energy even to date 5 people at the same time. How do you even keep them? Anyway, at this point, that one will lead to a lot of stress. It will lead to depression. Can you answer, Madam Melen, maybe what's the difference between stress and depression? Because there was a question that you were answering. Yes, maybe where one is feeling that there is low energy, the things that you used to do, you are not doing them. So, and you are saying that there is stress, which is positive, eustress. Then when it becomes when it goes to the negative, when it really impacts negatively on you, it becomes distress. You can maybe clarify on that. Yeah.
Yes, I see the question. So yes, depression. Okay, so a simple way of saying depression is when you feel you are completely hopeless and helpless. So those key terms. You feel you're hopeless. Hopelessness, the sense of there's nothing more, there's no way out. Helplessness, there's no one who can help me. So that is a simple way of realizing you might be leaning towards depression. But I think, so I don't like it's a term people use loosely, so I'm careful with that term depression. At times you can feel low, you can feel challenged. Doesn't mean you are going into depression. But when it persists for a very long time, and the other signs and symptoms here and there of depression, which someone can able to look at, but one of them is that it persists for a long time, not for a short time. So once in a month or once in a while, something may happen and may make you feel low or may make you feel a bit disappointed. That's not depression. The clinical depression has to have some criteria of symptoms which have manifested for a longer period of time. So stress is whenever your coping mechanisms are challenged. Yeah, I can be driving and then I get into traffic and I wanted to get somewhere on time. I'm not able to get to where my meeting in time, that is a big issue for me. That can lead to stress. That is not, that doesn't mean that I will become depressed. Okay, so that can be an issue of stress. Or now all these things you're asking about, dating 5 people can lead to stress, because your coping mechanisms will be challenged. If you are a gentleman and you're dating 5 ladies, and they will require your time, they require your attention, they require, they require many things from you. You'll be stretching your time, stretching your resources. The little money you have, which is from your parents, you're trying, or help, you're trying to divide it. It becomes challenging for you. So I think that can now contribute to stress. If you are a lady, nowadays you've seen everything. If you're a lady and you have 5 boyfriends, and they all want time from you, they all want what from you, I mean, you can't be able to cope with that. So it leads to you being completely stretched. That can lead to stress and many more things around that. Phyllis is asking, if a person has been dating you for a long and you don't want to engage in a relationship, how can you cope with that? So back to something I said about learning to listen to your voice and asking yourself what you want. Your personal beliefs matter a lot when you want to enter into relationships. So if you're dating someone for a long time and you don't want, you can be a place to explain to them, I am feeling like I don't want to continue with this relationship. But do it in a very professional, in a respectful, a courteous manner, so that you don't hurt them or make them feel like they are not appreciated. So it's okay if this is how you feel, be able to communicate to them that for personal reasons, you're not able to continue with that relationship. Lydia,
Hello,
welcome.
Helen.
Yes.
Can I add something on the difference between stress and depression?
Yes.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
add something on what you just talked about? Yeah.
Yes, Lydia, you can continue.
Okay, all right. So I would still emphasize on since I presented, did a bit of research on this. So stress is normal. Stress is a normal part of life. Yeah, it's beneficial in our lives, and it's a way of motivating us in whatever we are doing. While depression is a mental health condition. Depression is a mental health condition that interferes with a person's ability to carry out their daily functions. So in depression, that's where for you to be diagnosed clinically, I think there are some symptoms that you go through for like 2 weeks. Symptoms like hopelessness, withdrawing from people, loss of interest in your hobbies, signs like anger, sleeping more or sleeping less, loss of energy or motivation, feeling restless, agitated, irritable, having even suicidal thoughts. That's depression. So the difference between depression and stress is that depression is a mental health condition, while stress is a normal part of life. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Hello? Yeah. Hello, Dean. Back to you.
Oh, yes, Lydia,
Yes.
you're through, eh?
You heard me?
Yes, nilikuwa nakusikiza tu niseme peke yake.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
back to you.
That is good. You have really explained what the difference between stress and the depression. Somebody was asking whether body size.
Yes.
Actually, we're almost getting through. Somebody was asking, body size. Does body size matter in a relationship? Does body size matter in a relationship? I don't know what that one meant about body size in a relationship. Kindly, maybe we will get to answer these questions at that time. Issues about body size and the self-esteem. It depends on what you mean by that. It depends what you mean by that. And is it right to date a cosmate? Well, uh, I don't know whether there is anything wrong with that. Dating a cosmate, it depends. So, Lydia, Ellen, is she around? I was, testing. Lydia,
Yes.
kindly take over for a minute, then I will come back to you.
Okay. So continue asking questions on stress, depression, mental health. Any questions? I'm looking at the chat. Yeah. So anything to do with body size, I think that has to do with self-esteem. How do you look at yourself? Yeah, someone here is asking, how do you recognize stress in your life? How do you recognize stress in your life? When I was beginning my presentation, I talked about all these presenting signs and symptoms of stress. How do you know that you're going through stress? And one of them was having diarrhea. When you have a diarrhea or constipation. Then forgetfulness, you find yourself that you're forgetting things very quickly. Then there is also frequent aches and pains. When you find when you find your body is aching frequently, that can also be a sign of stress. When you have headaches for no apparent reason, you just get an headache out of nowhere, that can also be a sign of stress. Then there is also lack of energy or focus. You wake up, you feel like you don't feel like going to class, socializing with friends. Yeah, that lack of energy is also a sign of stress. A stiff neck. A stiff neck is another sign. There is also tiredness. Yeah, you haven't been to the shamba, you haven't done anything, but you're basically feeling tired. That's also another sign of stress. Trouble sleeping or sleeping too much. Then you also have use of alcohol or drugs. Someone here is, there's a question that I can see. Someone is asking, does alcohol help to release stress? Yeah, no, it doesn't. That's a big no. Alcohol does not help release stress. Actually, you'll be adding more issues to whatever you're going through. So you'd rather talk to a counselor than take alcohol. Then another sign of stress can be weight loss or weight gain. So someone else here is asking, exactly, madam, how do we handle stress? This again is my presentations, but I think people came in late and Dr. Shadrach talked about time management. This is what happens. If you don't keep time, you miss a lot. So anyway, I can brush through, maybe I can mention very quickly how to handle stress. I talked about it, But one way is having a support system back at home with your parents, with your partner, with your partners, keeping a journal every day, whatever you're doing. Yeah. Exercise regularly, eating right. Another way of relieving stress is getting organized. We talked about avoiding clutter. Whenever you're staying, avoid clutter. Yeah, you know, cleanliness is next to godliness. So avoid clutter. Yeah, and we said when you're organized, it can also help you get good grades. Another way of have a timetable, have a schedule. When you wake up, what are you going to do? What goals have you set for that day? Another way is listen to music. This is research. Research has been shown that listening to music can help you calm and stimulate your mind. Also, have positive thinking. Be an optimist. Then finally, when you're stressed, talk to someone. You can always talk to someone that you trust. Yeah, or talk to the university counselor or talk to the dean of students. Someone here is asking, how does one tell they are suicidal or a friend is, and how can you advise a person undergoing through this? So suicidal thought, that's we can say it's depression. We just discussed about the difference between depression and stress. So suicide is under the category of depression. So this person should definitely see a counselor. When there's no slip of the tongue in counseling, when most of the time when a person is talking about suicide, be sure they're thinking about it. So prop further, talk to this person, and mostly suicide is a cry for help. Yeah, this person needs to be listened to. Don't tell him, wenda ujiue, nunua kamba. No. Yeah, they need help. Dr. Shadrach, are you there?
Yes, I'm listening, Lydia.
Oh, yes. You can take over now.
Yes, thank you. I think we are doing well, and we are almost to close this session. Because I'm checking on the chat
Yeah.
about questions that are there, but it's like we have addressed most of the questions.
Yes.
We have addressed most of the questions. But unless Frederick, if you can unmute, we can also get to hear their voices.
Sure.
So if it's possible, apart from the chat, before we conclude, we can get hear their voice.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
somebody can you can unmute. Maybe somebody can be there having something to comment. They can
Yes.
also they also have information. They can also contribute to what we have been saying. Let it be interactive in the next maybe 15 minutes, and before we close. Is Maurice Muturi with us from
Yes,
our office?
yes, Muturi is around. I can ask him to unmute.
Yeah, he can unmute and greet us.
Yes.
Quite, yeah. You can unmute and greet us.
Hello.
Yes, really good.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Ali.
Yes.
Good morning to you all.
Morning.
Morning. Morning.
Yeah.
I'm taking this opportunity to say that it has been a really great moment. I've been listening, and students, I work in the Office of Dean of Students. Work together with Dr. Shadrach, work together with Lydia. It's a very good moment that we have exercised. I've heard about time management, heard about mental health. about stress management. These are the things that we should exercise. And I hope that very soon we are going to meet. Our office is transparent, open all the time. So I hope students, even I work there as an MC, and I believe when we meet, we will manage so many things together. Thank you, Daktari.
Thank you, Maurice. Maurice Mutwiri Kaura, in the Office of the Dean of Students, for being with us. So tutakutana huko, wanafunzi wakikuja, we will interact.
Dr. Could wish if maybe students have some questions, can raise up the answer that I can ask them to unmute, and they contribute to the section. Kindly, if you have any question, raise up the hand so that I can ask you to unmute to say something.
Much. So there is. Yeah, because Frederick, we are about to conclude. Yeah, because I think we have handled those issues. Our time, we have a few minutes to. I will also ask the students to stay on end.
Dr. You will allow me to ask Ian Goge to say something. He has raised up the hand.
Okay. When will you get the timetables?
Ian Ngoge, the director of examination, stated that the timetable will be sent into your institution email, as in from Monday. So kindly be checking the institution email to get the timetable. Okay, I can ask Derek. You say something?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have a question. Is this the last session for today, or will we have another one in the afternoon? And also, I'm asking if during when the schools will be open soon, will we have to come there in the company of our parents, guardians, or we shall just have to come just alone without the parents?
Okay, thank you. Your name, I have not sent. That's
Derek.
Derek. So kindly also it's good to say where you are from. It's good to know one another. Thank you, Derek. I think you have asked two questions. One, whether we have an afternoon session. I think, Frederick, this is the last session. These are according to the timetable. Tukimaliza hapa, we will be free in the afternoon. So this is our last session. It's our last session. There will be no other session in the afternoon. The other concern about opening and coming with the parents, kindly let's just wait for the communication as time goes, because have your numbers will communicate on what should happen as we get in a clear manner. So just get what we are doing, because I know you are starting classes. It will be okay. Lydia, we are seeing you. You are eating. You are making some breakfast. Yeah. It's good. So you'll get information as we move on. You'll get information as we move on. Thank you. Anybody else with a concern before we close?
Yes, I can see Tekino. Come on, I've asked you to unmute so that you can ask the question. Yes, yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Let's just for that support.
Your name is not Tekino.
Yes. My name is Maina from Muranga County.
Oh, good. Maina from Muranga. Yes.
Mine is just for Sudan. Since we started, may God bless you all as we look forward to meeting physically.
Thank you, Maina, for the compliment. Somehow maybe where you are, your network is not very clear, but we have gotten your compliment. It is deserving, it is good, and we thank God for you. You keep safe until we meet physically in campus. Before maybe you get Frederick, somebody else, we also privileged to have been with us in the session, and Dr. Obote Dennis, who is the chairman for Education Department. Dr. Obote, you can hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, Bonandin, I can hear you, sir.
Oh, kindly, you can just greet us before we conclude our session.
Yes, sir.
I don't know where you are. It seems as if it is it's not very clear, but we can get your voice properly. Good. Yeah, it's okay.
I'm working at somebody from home.
Yeah, just greet us, Daktari.
Thank you very much, Bonandin. I'm happy to be these young people. When I look at them on the screen, I can see our future. The future is very bright for welcome. And I believe and a very good moments with Awandin and Madam Lindy and Mollis. I think you have gone, you had a very good session. I have enjoyed them. I enjoyed all the moments. I have liked it. And I believe if this is the beginning, we are going far. These guys, they can fly. I believe they will fly with us.
Yes.
Let's have good moments. Kutoka Kisumu, Mombasa, Kwale, Nairobi, Nakuru, Mulanga, God be with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Education.
Thank you, Dr. Obote Dennis. He is the COD or the chairman, Department of Education. You'll be meeting him in due course. Any other student before we close, kindly? Frederick?
Still Derek, he wants to ask another question. Kindly, Derek, the last question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Yeah, I have the last question here about the hostel booking. Will we be allowed to book, then come there, pay personally, or if yes, we will have to pay before we go there? Will we have to deposit in the school bank account, or we send through M-Pesa, or which mode of payment will be used?
I think those who stay in the university hostels, they pay per semester, and of course the rates have been determined, and then those other finer details you'll get. Of course, the money goes to the school account. The money goes to, to the university account. You'll get finer details for that. I have said that the other things that are not clear, maybe about the hostels, because we are in very interesting period because of the COVID-19. But also you need to understand that, of course, the first years, they're the ones who are given the first priority to come to the university hostels, but also within the university, we have private hostels where people can rent, and they are prepared. You'll be assisted accordingly when you come, so that you'll also know that there are hostels outside the university, of course, within the vicinity of the university, walking distances. Yeah. Okay, I think that one is clear for now.
Okay, Dean, you'll allow me to unmute Ben for the last question,
Yeah.
and before we close.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Ben.
We are hearing mine just a request
Yes.
about in the faculty first.
Yes.
I was requesting that you have to talk to the registrar.
Mm-hmm.
For those of us who use the wrong clusterways, we can have a chance to reapply before the deadline.
For cluster, I mean for interfaculty transfer.
Yes.
Yes, yes. You'll be given enough time, enough space to do the interfaculty transfers. And when you do the interfaculty transfers, of course, your requests are handled by a committee. They look at the qualification, whether you are meeting the threshold for you to be allowed to do that. But there will be time for that. It will be given, I believe, just follow the instructions. And if you have any kind of handle, any kind of challenge, kindly don't hesitate to call even directly. Of course, I know there are numbers that you can call. Maybe at this point in time, there are numbers that you can call. Frederick, you are provided that, eh?
Yes, yes.
You are provided that. And let the students have that. Lydia, there was somebody who was asking the number for Lydia. So it is also, it's okay. She can do that. I don't know, there is the email. If you want even to write to me directly, of course, there is a shadrach.kedela@tharakan.ac.ke. You can write that. I mean, through that email. There is also the DOS. DOS means Dean of Students at Tharaka. So, Frederick, you provide us with those numbers. Frederick?
Yes, yes.
You provide us with those numbers in the public chat so that the students can get them properly. Maybe there are those who have not accessed them from the Facebook. Even here, it can be provided where they can meet us through telephone, through emails, so that we can address their concerns. Yeah. My number, anybody, of course, who wants to call me, there is no problem. My number is 0723 779 655. I repeat, 0723 779 655. Just call me within the working hours and I will be ready to assist you.
I think I would like to answer the question about the bundle offer.
Okay.
We think that the school, I think the ICT team, and submitted your numbers to KNET, the Safaricom number and the Airtel and also the Telcom numbers have been submitted. So they are waiting to be approved. So I think on next week on Monday, you will be notified through different media, maybe through SMS, so that you can be allowed to buy those bundles. They are discounted, they are not free. I think 10 GB always costs 500 to access the e-learning. So it is not free. You are not being provided a free bundle. They are just being discounted. It isn't just an offer. So if you provided a valid number during the registration, so you will be able to, you just type star still 5444 hash. There's an offer, extra offer, which will be there where you will be allowed maybe not to purchase that bundle with a certain amount, which is, I think it is some of fair. So most of us, 10 GB valuing for 500, the 100 only. I think it is a fair deal, so that you can access all e-learning materials. The afternoon section? Yes,
yes, Frederick. Maybe what you said is true because, like yesterday, I bought 10 GB with 500 shillings. So that the way I know it, the 10 GB, because you have said it's discounted, you use 10 GB with 1,500. So your cost is a third. It is a third. And you can use it entirely for the whole month. And that can be actually enough for the e-learning classes. Yes, so it is discounted. Rather than paying 1,500 for 10 GB, the discounted one you pay 500 for 10 GB. I think that's what you are really saying, and it is good. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think there's a burning issue from Brian Kiplangat. I will ask you to unmute and ask the question. Kindly, Brian Kiplangat. Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Unasikia?
Yes.
Yeah, nilikuwa nataka kuuliza kuhusu registration of units. Sija registered lakini nika registered 8 units in 8. So what can I do?
Okay. Thank you, Brian. So for unit registration, if you have maybe a question or you are going to encounter a problem, so I'll be sharing the phone number for the system administrator so that you can consult if you encounter any problem. So I'm typing. Kindly check that number. I can see Asemo. Cynthia, you have raised up your hand. Kindly, I will ask you to unmute so that you can ask the question. Thank you. Yes, Cynthia.
I'm asking this. This is my question.
Yes.
Are you getting me?
Yes, we are getting you.
I'm asking this during registration. We attached our school fees slip there, but I had paid half of the school fees. And then finally I came and cleared the school fees, but the other amount is not reading in my school account. So how can I do?
So, okay, thank you. For the finance issues, I'm typing for number so that you can consult if your fee hasn't reflected yet. So kindly check on the chat.
But let the students, of course, as she consults further, you should be assured that all is well. If, of course, you are paid, everything will be there. You see the systems, the way they handle and the time lapses. So, of course, your details are with the university. So the number that you're being given, you can kindly consult that directly and you get the feedback, but don't be worried.
Yes, you can check the finance office phone. So kindly consult. Thank you, Felix, for the correction. It is 07 for the system administrator. If you have any question about unit, it's 0701 65 65 89, not 86, 89. So kindly take on that correction. There's another question here from Emmanuel.
Hello.
Yes, Emmanuel.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I'm Emmanuel. I would want to ask him. Are you getting me?
Yes, we are getting you.
Yeah. Suppose the government announced the reopening of the schools. Are we going to proceed with our e-learning process studies? Are you getting me?
Hello? Yes, okay, Meli, we are getting you. You
okay,
are
I'm
whether if the government allows schools to be reopened, whether we'll continue with the e-learning. That's
yes, that's my question. Yes.
Yes. So when government allows schools to be reopened, one thing that you love to understand is that universities operate, of course, in their programs. They are autonomous. And concerning academic programs, it is the Senate that meets. So under our timetable, of course, with the Chuka University, because we are a constant college of Chuka University, where our learning program, basically the Senate has to meet and will decide on the way forward. So any kind of communication will be done. It will be done. So even if the university, I mean the government says that the schools will open October 5th, it is the respective universities that will have their programs. I don't know whether you have known that even universities, there are those who will report, maybe first years reporting in May, the others that report in September, depending on how they have organized their academic calendar. So kindly you will be advised accordingly. But as far as we are concerned right now, we are embarking on our e-learning program for now.
Okay,
Yes.
fine, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We can have the last question from Jack Ntuku. Okay.
Oh, hello.
Yes.
Hello. Okay, my question is all about the hostels. And I was asking about the private hostels. Are you supposed to come with the beddings or are they provided as per the school?
Okay, you are talking about beddings, personal effects, private. Yeah. In the hostel, you will come. I think what is only provided is the bed. Is the bed. So you come with your beddings. You come with your beddings. Yeah. So you don't. Even in high school, I believe you are having your own. Of course, there are those who came with their own mattresses. Also, the schools who are providing mattresses. But as far as the blankets and all other personal effects are concerned, those are yours. Of course, you'll meet a room, the toilets will be there, the ablution blocks will be there, and then you come with other things. Even cooking, of course, you'll buy your meko, you'll buy your other items, personal effects, the food, and all that. Yes. Yeah. But also know that the university has a cafeteria within the day. You can eat within the cafeteria, within university cafeteria. You can also eat from outside. That provision is there. Yes.
So I think that Dean, I think we can conclude.
We can conclude. Yes.
Yes, maybe I can ask maybe a volunteer to raise up the hand so that he or she can lead us with a word of prayer.
But before maybe praying, we can have a vote of thanks.
Yes.
Let's have a student maybe giving a vote of thanks, and somebody else. Yeah, of course, a student will pray. We can have a vote of thanks from a student, and also for prayers.
Okay, I can say, okay, I've asked you to unmute Oppo.
Na atasema jina yake na pale yako ni wapi kindly.
Yes.
Okay, hello.
Hello.
My name is Wanjiro Kanyoto, and I'm from Nakuru. Just wanted to say thank you for the session. We really enjoyed, and God bless you.
Thank you, Kangebe. So, Frederick, also from our side, from the Department of Welfare, Student Welfare, we sincerely want to appreciate our students for being available, for being faithful. There is a training that I was attending. You could say that they are fat, being faithful, available, and also teachable. They have a teachable spirit, and this is very good. You are faithful. I can assure you that we are moving far. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you for your discipline. I know we could not we could not interact with all the students because these are not all the students, but you are a very good representative sample of our students. our first years. Thank you very much. Keep safe. God bless you. Have a positive mind. Prepare yourself for Sundays. Let's adjust very fast to the new technologies that are there for us. It is good for us. Na tutaendelea kuonana. Mungu abariki sana. Maybe you can have a student to close with a word of prayer. So Frederick, Fred, you can check on that.
Yes, Faith Joy Kawira, kindly have us to unmute so that you can pray for us.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Kaniti County. Let's bow our hands for a word of prayer. Almighty Lord, we are to our presence, O Lord. Give and trust your name for your that can love. Oh Lord, thank you for the facilitators we have today, O Lord. Thank you for everything, Lord. Thank you for the students, O Lord. Oh Lord, may you bless this day, O Lord. Let us be a beneficial day to everyone, O Lord. And it is through Jesus' name that we do pray and give thanks. Amen.
Thank you very much. We appreciate our facilitator, Ellen. Thank you, Frederick. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, Maurice. Thank you, all the students. God bless you.